A woman sits inside a $40 million home. The lighting is flawless. Her skin appears smooth, youthful, almost unreal. She's crying, but even her tears look beautiful. It's the kind of crying that doesn't ruin makeup. She talks about her latest breakup while cameras record everything. This heartbreak will air on television months later. It will spread across the internet. It will sell products. Another sister is casually getting a cosmetic treatment while chatting about dinner plans. Private jets sit lined up like taxis. Somewhere else, a teenager scrolls through photos, then looks in the mirror, quietly wondering why she doesn't look the same. They didn't just become famous, they reshaped what we think is normal. The Kardashian-Jenner family didn't invent cosmetic enhancements, messy relationships, or the idea of constant work. They didn't start overconsumption or the concept of turning life into a performance. But what they did do, carefully, strategically, over nearly 2 decades, was take things people once hid and bring them into the spotlight. They polished them, packaged them, and turned them into something desirable. And somewhere along the way, millions of people stopped simply watching and started copying. This isn't about attacking a family, it's about understanding influence. It's about seeing how behaviors become normal, how a reality show ended up reshaping beauty standards, relationships, work habits, and even our definition of success. By the end of this, you won't just see fame differently, you'll see yourself differently. Because the Kardashians didn't just hold up a mirror to the world, they changed what we see in that reflection. How reality TV changed what feels normal. Let's go back. October 14th, 2007. Keeping Up with the Kardashians premieres. Critics called it chaotic, messy, but audiences couldn't stop watching. A loud, dramatic, wealthy family opened their doors and let cameras capture everything. Arguments at dinner, breakups as they happened, business moves, recovery after surgery. Before this, reality TV had limits. You watched from the outside. It wasn't meant to feel like real life unfolding continuously. The Kardashians erased that boundary. Their entire life became the show. There was no off button. And that shift mattered, because when cameras never turn off, behavior changes. What lasts isn't what's real, it's what keeps attention, what goes viral, what sells. Earlier reality TV gave us a window. The Kardashians gave us a mirror, and we couldn't look away. Then social media arrived. Instagram launched in 2010. Within a couple of years, they weren't just on TV, they were in your pocket. Their lives became non-stop content, filtered photos, sponsored posts, casual moments that were anything but casual. The line between reality and performance disappeared completely. And here's where things changed even more. People stopped just watching, they started participating, copying, adapting. Makeup trends shifted, lip fillers exploded in popularity. Their language became everyday slang. They didn't just show a lifestyle, they made it feel achievable. Be like this, the message said. Just buy this, try this, post like this. But the real question is the one we didn't ask back then. When everything becomes content, when every moment can be monetized, when both happiness and pain are turned into stories, what's actually real anymore? When beauty became something to fix. Kylie Jenner was just 17 when her lips began to change. At first, it was subtle. Then it became impossible to ignore. The internet exploded. Speculation, memes, obsession. For months, she denied it. It's just makeup. Then, in 2015, she admitted the truth: lip injections. She explained she felt insecure, that she had been teased. The story was framed as empowerment, taking control, fixing something that bothered her. But look closer. A teenager growing up in front of cameras, surrounded by sisters who represented impossible beauty standards, altered her appearance and then built a billion-dollar business selling that same look. The Kardashians didn't invent cosmetic procedures, but they normalized them in a new way. They turned something once whispered about into something casual, even aspirational. The message stayed consistent. Do what makes you happy. You deserve confidence. This is self-love. But there's a contradiction there. When loving yourself requires doctors, procedures, and constant maintenance, is it really self-love, or is it transformation chasing an unreachable ideal? And the effects were real. Cosmetic procedures among teenagers increased significantly. Lip injections became one of the most requested treatments. Doctors began seeing patients bring in filtered selfies, asking to look like edited versions of themselves. The standard didn't just rise, it became impossible. And yet, somehow, it felt normal. The illusion of perfection. In April 2021, Khloe Kardashian posted a photo that looked almost unreal, extremely slim, perfectly angled. Then an unedited version leaked. Same person, completely different body. Her team worked to remove the unedited photo from the internet. Later, she spoke openly about pressure, insecurity, and criticism. People sympathized, but something important was missed. She continued posting edited images, continued promoting weight loss products, continued reinforcing the same standards that created that pressure. That's the paradox. They talk about insecurity while benefiting from the systems that create it. They sell confidence, but only after convincing you that you lack it. Even their real moments are curated. Lighting, angles, editing, nothing is accidental. And studies show the impact clearly. The more people consume edited, idealized images, the worse they feel about themselves. The Kardashians didn't invent filters, but they perfected them. They set a standard that even they can't maintain without constant help. It isn't just unrealistic, it's impossible, but it continues because it sells. When pain becomes content. Khloe discovering Tristan's cheating, Kim's robbery in Paris, breakups, betrayals, personal struggles, all broadcast, packaged, scheduled. Pain becomes storyline, healing becomes content. The show presents this as authenticity, openness, realness, but there's a difference between sharing your story and profiting from it. When timing matters for ratings, when recovery has to fit a narrative, when vulnerability is edited, that's not raw reality, that's production. And it teaches something dangerous. Your pain has value, but only if people are watching. When loyalty becomes harm. Khloe stayed again and again, despite betrayal, and the message framed it as strength, loyalty, family values. But loyalty isn't enduring repeated mistreatment. That's not strength, that's attachment disguised as love. Across their stories, the same pattern appears. Staying is praised, leaving is questioned. Boundaries look like betrayal, self-respect looks like selfish, and for millions watching, the message becomes internalized. If someone successful, powerful, and admired accepts this, maybe I should too. Hustle, wealth, and the myth of effort. Get up and work. The backlash to that statement was immediate because it ignored something obvious: privilege, access, wealth, opportunity, support systems. The narrative they promote is simple: success comes from effort alone, but that erases everything else, and it creates a harmful belief. If you're not succeeding, it's your fault. It turns exhaustion into a badge of honor, rest into weakness, and it convinces people that their worth is measured by productivity. The bigger picture. The Kardashians didn't create these ideas. They amplified them, normalized them, monetized them. They built an empire on influence, and while they reflect the culture, they also shape it. So the real question isn't just about them, it's about us. Can we separate reality from performance, self-worth from appearance, happiness from consumption? Or have we become so used to this version of normal that we don't question it anymore? Because in the end, the Kardashians didn't just change themselves, they changed all of us. And the question that remains is simple: if this is what success looks like, what exactly have we been chasing?